I call upon the power of the White Tiger Zord! Roar. You don't look like Saba. You don't look tough enough to be a Power Ranger. Hello everybody, Sparkster1701 here. It's time to take a look at another Kingdom Transformer. And this is one that I've had for a little bit, but I've been waiting for more to become available to show to all of you. This is Tigatron. Tigatron, of course, is another Beast Wars character. And it looks like he's going to be the last one released in the Kingdom line. Hopefully, with the upcoming Legends series, we will get some more Beast Wars characters. For those of you unfamiliar with it, the Legends line is going to further expand upon the plot-like elements that was used in Kingdom. Kingdom was a fusion of Generation 1 and Beast Wars era. Well, Legends is apparently going to merge a lot of the others, as we're going to get characters from some of the more modern interpretations, as well as other past incarnations. Like I've seen from the list that has been released so far, there will at least be one Generation 2 version of a character released in that line. But so far, no announcements of Beast era characters. But give it time. Unfortunately, though, they're also going to rehash some of the old toys from Kingdom into that line, because they have confirmed that Galvatron and Blaster, who at the moment I do not have in Kingdom, will both be appearing in Legends and be unchanged from their Kingdom forms. Now, of course, we take one look here at Tigatron, and people are automatically going to assume that he's the same as the other toys that have been released. Like, say, Cheetor, or Shadow Panther. And yes, while Tigatron does borrow a few of their design elements, they, as you can see clearly standing next to each other, they are not entirely the same mold. Tigatron is a bigger mold since he is a Voyager class toy, and the other two are Deluxe class toys. So, quite a considerable difference. And of course, for those that were fans of the Beast Wars cartoon, you would also remember that Tigatron was also in a relationship with Airazor. But of course, the relationship was changed in some of the foreign elements due to the fact that in some of the foreign markets, the cartoon's dubbing over there changed Airazor into a male character. So their relationship kind of went more to being that of a master and an apprentice. Okay, for the benefit of anybody who buys a Tigatron loose, let's take a slow turn around him. I don't know how well most of it's coming off on the camera, but you will see that some of the white tiger has got a slight splash of yellowing on him. This, of course, is done to make him more resemble a natural white tiger. As you can imagine, keeping their fur absolutely white is kind of a challenge. Then again, just ask anybody that has a white-colored car how easy it is to keep it looking exactly white. The color white does attract a lot of other colors to it as it gets dirty. but this is meant to invoke the look of a real white tiger. To some, it's also an homage to the original toy, as in the fact that white plastic on many of the older toys did have a tendency to yellow over time with age and, to some degree, sun exposure. So it is nice to see it as an homage to the original toy. Now, of course, there is also a variant of this toy available too, in one of the specialty packs that they've labeled as a Mutant Tigertron, which is basically this same toy but with a few changed pieces, and it is changed up to be more of an orange tiger rather than a white tiger. But at any rate, if you do buy this toy loose, let's take a look at his loose accessories, starting with his tail. While it is in a similar shape to the ones used by Cheetor and Shadow Panther, it does not have the long, extended bit of plastic on the one end, so it doesn't give the appearance of having a blade on the end of it. Tigatron can hold it in either end, and it can be used as a whip of sorts. And then, of course, we'll take a look at his other weapon, which is, of course, his gun. It's listed as a blaster on the Transformers Wikia, but some fans take to calling it the gut gun due to the fact of this part of the gun is painted in a pinkish color. And the way it is crafted, it's intended to give a look like organs, but it's really impossible to tell what exactly it is. That, and there's also the fact that when Tigatron is in tiger mode, you can hang the gun from his gut, which is again another homage to the original toy. Now, with the accessories out of the way, let's take a look at some of Tigatron's articulation. His head can be turned from side to side, and it is on a small ball joint, so it will look up and down, but it's very minimal. His arms can be raised out all the way up like that, and they do turn at the shoulder all the way around, but again, you have to bend the arm in such a way so it doesn't rub up against his back shoulder plates. Oh, one other thing to take note of is to watch for any damage done to the legs or to this area of the body from the cardboard inside the box, since Tigatron is fit in there very snugly. And his legs are secured with some more of the plastic bands on the back side of the box. So it is the tray, not the box itself, but it is a pain to get it out. He has double jointed elbows, kind of like the modern classified G.I. Joe figures. And he does have a swivel at the bicep, so he has the G.I. Joe battle grip. He can be twisted a bit here at his hips. You can spread his legs apart into a full splits. You can raise his leg up at the hip about 90 degrees, and you can bend his leg at the knee 90 degrees. And he does have some articulation at his ankles. So all in all, Tigatron does have a fair amount of articulation. Alright, let's take a look at transforming Tigatron. And the first thing we have to do is we have to stretch his arms out to the sides a bit. That way we can get in here underneath the tiger head and fold out these side panels. They should, of course, line up with the panels on his back for the front legs. Then you're going to bring his arms straight down again, and then bend them up at their double jointed elbows, like so. Then once they're up like that, you're going to turn them at the bicep so that they also connect to the back pieces. Now you're going to need to shift them a bit because there's a slight hole in here behind the forearm, and that should line up with this lower post down here to give a somewhat completed look. See? Just like that. Bring him over here to the other side and do the same thing. Just exactly like that. Now, once you've got his arms folded up, we're going to come here to his chest. We're going to pop the tiger head free. And then you're going to lower it, because we're going to fold the robot head down. Then the tiger head comes back up to conceal it. And then we fold it all the way up and lock it into place. So now he's looking like a normal cat staring into a light. There you go. You can stand there and stare at the heavens. And of course, once that's done, we're going to fold the arm section over and get that connected. And then we can adjust the front legs of the tiger so that they're out like that. Then now we come down here to his legs. We start by folding out the cat legs. They may be a little stiff. There we go. You start to fold back the robot ankles. But there's a section of plastic inside that you're going to want to push down. Sometimes it helps to use the gun. Reach in here on the back of the leg and push those out a bit. And we turn him around to fold in his heels before fully folding the feet inside. Of course, we want to close this panel on his butt. And then we just simply adjust the tiger legs to be like that. And of course, to complete the look, insert the tail. And then there you have it. Tigatron is in his alternate mode of a white tiger. And of course, the white tiger does have some posability to it. The front legs can be moved at the shoulder. They also have an elbow joint, so we can go forwards and backwards. And you also have quite a bit of range of motion with the front paw. The front paw is actually double jointed. It has a hinge joint. And at the front, it has a ball joint. The back legs can be moved at the knee. They also have a lower knee section. And the paw is also on a ball joint. Now, while you can't do anything with rotating his head, you can open his mouth. And as we stated earlier, for an attack mode option, You do have the 2 holes on his belly, so you can, as an homage to the original toy, plug his gun in, and then there you have it. Although it's kind of a dangerous place to have his gun. If he moves his head or his leg wrong, he may shoot himself. But at any rate, we'll show you a side-by-side comparison. Right there is Cheetor. As you can see, Tigatron does block him out entirely. We'll put him here in front so you can see him. And since Shadow Panther is basically a repaint of Cheetor, so there you have it, folks. Conclusive proof they are not the same, but yet different. And now we get down to my thoughts. Tigatron's an interesting character, to say the least, starting out as something of an amnesiac in the series before finally deciding that he is a Maximal, and then growing to have a love interest in the series. Tigatron is obviously a rather popular character, and this alternate mode certainly shows part of the reason why. White tigers in the natural world are beautiful creatures to see. Definitely not something you want to get up and close and personal with, but definitely a fascinating creature to see. And it is captured relatively well here on this modern toy. Again, when the original Beast Wars came out, I was out of collecting toys at that point, so I never really got to see any of the Beast War era toys. But I can see what would have made the original one so popular, and I see that Hasbro has beautifully captured it in this modern interpretation. It's just a shame that he is, for all intents and purposes in the Kingdom line, the last one that will be released at retail for the Beast War era. At any rate, that's my review of the Kingdom version of Tigatron. I hope everybody enjoyed it. Please do remember that if you love the content we've put out here on this channel, please do remember to like, share, comment, and subscribe, because we do appreciate the feedback. Now, for our final video for Kingdom Month next week, we're going to show off one of the rare toys from Kingdom that I just barely managed to acquire. So we did manage to get 4 for the month. Hallelujah! This is Sparkster1701 saying I will catch you all later.